The city never truly slept, but at 2:15 a.m., its heartbeat slowed. A drizzle had turned the empty streets silver, the streetlights casting long shadows that seemed to move of their own accord. Inside CID headquarters, Officer Rudra Sen was sipping cold tea from a cracked ceramic cup when his phone buzzed. "Sir, a call just came in." Constable Roy's voice was rushed. "Jeweler Rakesh Agawal has been found dead. Apartment 302, Shantanikatan Towers." Rudra put the cup down slowly. "Murder?" "Yes, sir." Neighbors reported blood. "We've sealed the flat. Keep it that way," Rudra said, already reaching for his coat. When Rudra arrived, a thin crowd of sleepy residents had gathered near the apartment complex's gate. Whispers floated in the damp air. Robbery, suicide, a ghost. As if each rumor could shield them from the reality of death. Rudra ignored them. His boots echoed on the marble lobby floor as he entered the building. Apartment 302's door was wide open. Inside, Inspector Meera Das was already directing constables. She looked up as Rudra entered, relief flashing across her face. "You're late?" she said dryly. Rudra gave a faint smile. "Tea was bad. Had to finish it before leaving." Meera shook her head. "Come, see this." The study smelled of iron and polish. On the floor lay Rakesh Agarwal, sprawled beside his desk, throat cut with surgical precision. A pool of blood had already darkened to maroon. His spectacles were cracked, one lens smeared red. Rudra knelt beside the body. His gaze was steady, taking in every detail. The untouched safe in the corner, the wine glass on the desk, the half-burned candle flickering weakly. Then he noticed it. The victim's wristwatch had stopped at exactly 11:47 p.m. "Cause of death?" Rudra asked. Dr. Bose, the forensic expert, adjusted his gloves. "Sharp weapon. Likely a blade. Time of death between 11:30 and midnight. But I'll confirm after autopsy." Rudra's eyes flickered. "The watch matches your estimate. But sometimes time lies." Meera raised an eyebrow. "Meaning?" Instead of answering, Rudra pointed at the carpet near the window, a trail of cigarette ash. Meera frowned. "Rakesh didn't smoke, did he?" "Exactly," Rudra murmured. "So the question is, who wanted us to think he was alive until midnight?" The first witness was the butler, a frail man named Ganesh, who trembled as if every breath might shatter him. I found him, sir. I bring tea every night at midnight. But when I entered today," he broke down, clutching the doorframe. "He was lying there." Dead Rudra's voice was calm, steadying. "Did anyone visit him tonight?" "Only Mr. Vijay Kapoor, his business partner. Came around 10, left close to midnight." "Are you sure?" "Yes, sir. I heard their voices," Meera scribbled in her notebook. "So Vijay was the last person to see him alive?" Rudra stood, staring at the stopped wristwatch again. The second hand pointed stiffly, like a corpse frozen in motion. "Maybe the only one," he said softly. At 3:30 a.m., the constables brought Vijay Kapoor in. A tall man with slick hair and an expensive suit, Vijay looked more annoyed than frightened. "Officer, I understand my partner is dead," he said quickly. "But don't waste time suspecting me. I was with him until midnight, discussing a deal. When I left, he was alive." Rudra didn't respond. He simply watched him, silent as stone. Silence often spoke louder than accusations. Meera finally asked, "Can anyone confirm your timeline?" "Yes, the security camera downstairs. You'll see me leaving at 12:02. Rudra's eyes narrowed slightly. "We'll check." And they did. CCTV footage showed Vijay leaving the building at exactly 12:02 a.m. As he claimed, he looked confident when the footage ended. "See," he said, "I had no reason to kill him." We were about to finalize a contract worth crores. But Rudra wasn't convinced. He replayed the footage, zooming in. His sharp eyes caught a detail others missed. A faint bulge in Vijay's shirt pocket. A cigarette pack. Rudra closed his notebook and said in his calm, even tone, "Cigarette ash in a non-smoker's house. A watch that stops at 11:47. And an alibi that feels too perfect." Interesting, Vijay shifted uncomfortably for the first time. Rudra's gaze didn't waver. Time can be tampered with, Mr. Kapoor. But truth always ticks on. The room fell silent, except for the steady drip of rain outside. The game had begun. Read full episode on readepic1.blogspot.com